roughly 9% of all home buyers in the US in 2023 were unmarried couples. So today we have a lot to talk about, and we actually bring you the top 5 questions you should ask when you are an unmarried couple buying a house together. Question number 1, how does the law see our purchase? Well, there are some states in the US in which just by living together, you are considered to be in a marriage and you have the same rights as a married couple. However, in the majority of the states, you are actually viewed as an individual who may own an asset together. So it is very important that before you even make the decision to go out looking for a house or even consider doing this, that you sit down, have a nice discussion, and put that in writing. Talk to your real estate attorney to make sure that you are both protected, that you both have an exit strategy in case something happens. Question number 2, should we both be on the mortgage? Now that depends a lot on your financial situation. Sometimes one of the partners will have better credit scores, they will have more income, more declared income. So it may make more sense for only one of you to be on the mortgage, because if you do a mortgage together with somebody who might have a lower credit score, that might increase your interest rate. So if it's the case that your application looks better by being just one partner on the application, that works. You can certainly both be together on the mortgage. Now, just one word of caution is that typically the person who is on the mortgage has a lot more latitude when it comes to rights to the property. Just being able to prove that they have been the ones making the payment, when sometimes the other partner is paying for half or paying for a portion of that. Another thing to do is to always discuss and put that in writing, talking to your real estate attorney, who put in the down payment, who is taking care of the general maintenance of the house. So those are all things that cost money. And if it ever comes a case to split those assets for one reason or another, because you're buying your next home or for another reason, it is important to know. Now, you can both be on the title for the house, but not on the mortgage. And some married couples will actually do that for just the way that they want to financially organize themselves. So you may have one spouse on the mortgage and both spouses on the deed to the house. So it will all depend on what your goals are and what your future plans are. Now, question number 3 is, what happens if we break up? And it can happen. Nobody wishes for that when they buy a house together, but it's something to consider. Life happens, things change, and in the event that you do break up, you have options. Again, so long as you have discussed them prior to and continue to be on the same page. But the most common option is to simply sell the house and split any profits or liabilities that you may have had with the purchase. But another option, and it happened to me personally when I went through a divorce process, was I wanted to keep the house. I felt like with my son being raised in the house, it just made sense to keep him there. So you do have an option to refinance the house if you're able to qualify on your own and keep the house, and of course pay whatever equity was built in the home to your former spouse. So there's a couple nice options there depending on how you choose to do it. Now, question number 4, and we do have to talk about these things, is what happens if one of us dies? Okay, so that will really depend on how you took title when you made the purchase. And we do have actually a fantastic episode on everything you need to know about title. I'm gonna link it right here. But there's 2 very common options. One of them is that the partner would have right of survivorship. So if one of you passes, the other one automatically owns the house on their own. But what we see a lot these days is blended families. So one of the partners may have children from a previous relationship, the other one may not. So you can also own the house in a situation in which, let's say, one of you owns 50%, the other one owns the other 50%. Doesn't have to be 50-50, by the way. It could be 40-60, it could be 10-90, whichever way you decided to take title. But that happens in a situation typically when one of the partners has kids and they want the kids to have their half of their portion of the property. So that's also doable, so long as, again, you guys discuss this before you take title. And the last question is, who gets the tax benefits? Okay, so you're not married, so you cannot file jointly. You have to file separately. So that's a conversation that you may want to have, again, ahead of time, because there could be some mortgage interest benefits there that you can claim. So it may be the case that you can structure this and talk to your CPA, but it may be the case that you can structure this so that one partner will take the deduction one year, the other one will take the deduction the following year, and you can alternate that. Or if only one of you is on the mortgage, of course, that would be the person who would be able to claim those tax benefits. So buying a house when you're not married can have a little bit more implications and a few extra steps just to make sure that you're cautious. So if you have any questions at all about today's episode and the questions that we talked about, please give us a call or shoot us a text.